Hello, Mustang Orchestra parents, guardians, and students. I've started to go ahead and transition to vlogs instead of doing a typed newsletter. I figured that if it's something easier for you guys, you can just click on this and maybe listen to this together as a family, or you can just listen to it on your own whenever you're getting things ready for your students, or just maybe at work and you just want to make sure that you're informed. So let's go and talk about some upcoming events for our orchestra students. Tomorrow, January 19th, is the course selection night for incoming fifth graders and the current sixth graders and seventh graders that are going to be here on campus. This is a night in which they can look at any elective and ask any questions for. We were going to plan to have the advanced ensemble play and perform, but instead I think I'm just going to have a few students, advanced and beginners, to come after school to just give some testimony and some feedback on their orchestra experience so far. If your student is also going to be at that, tomorrow during the day, you should probably receive some kind of notice from them, maybe a text message or something in the morning about, hey, Mr. Lethridge is going to let me stay after school. I'm only asking for about 3 to 4 students, so tomorrow morning during the classes, I'll see who is able to stay and give my final word. So if they're not going to stay for that, they'll actually be able to come to that course selection night just as a regular student. All right, our next event is next Wednesday on January 25th from 4:30 until 6 p.m. This is an optional orchestra social that I like to call Orchestra Olympics. And we're just gonna have some fun, we're gonna have some pizza, and this is open to all orchestra members. This is one of our first socials that we'll be able to have this year. So if your child is able to come, tomorrow I'll be passing out not sign-ups, but I'll be passing out permission slips so that I know in advance how much pizza to order and who's all coming. And if they are coming, I'm just gonna ask that they bring some kind of snack or drink so that they can help kind of potluck our efforts together so that we have enough snacks and drinks for everybody at the Orchestra Olympics. That is, again, next Wednesday from 4:30 until 6 p.m. And it's completely optional. They do not need to come if they're busy. If you are busy, don't worry about it. It's an optional event. We will not be playing our instruments at all. And lastly, our upcoming event for the beginning classes, we have String Fling, which is on February 2nd. February is coming up. We're already halfway through January. February 2nd on Thursday at 7 p.m. This will be at Hobson Fieldhouse. Hobson Fieldhouse is right next to Hightower High School. So later on that day, during I think about 7th period, we're going to have all the students come on down to the orchestra room, and then from here we're going to all leave together to Hobson. It's only about a 10-15 minute bus ride for us, thankfully, so they won't miss any classes. They'll just come here right after school, and then we'll get on the bus and go right over to Hobson for the rehearsal that starts at 5:30. They'll have pizza afterwards. They'll change into their String Fling shirt with all of the other middle schoolers from the 5 other campuses that will be there. And then they'll have some time to go talk and maybe go mingle and maybe see some of their friends that they see outside of school. And then they'll perform the concert for you at 7 p.m. The concert should last, I think, about 45 minutes, and then teardown is usually the most kind of chaotic part. It's because there are usually around 800-ish middle schoolers that will be walking around with their instruments, and so you'll probably be leaving around 8 o'clock, 8:15. And then that'll be the evening. We will not be busing them back because It's only about 15 minutes away from here, and I think most students kind of live closer to that Hightower area, so we will bus them to Hightower, but it will be your responsibility to pick up your children from Hightower and take them home after the concert. Our next thing for the vlog, we're going to talk about practicing and practice reflections. So our practice reflections, we're starting these up again. They'll get one of these at the beginning of every week. So this week was a short week, so they got them, the Tuesday classes got them yesterday, and then the Wednesday classes will get them today. The front is worth 30 points. The back is worth 70 points. So complete all together, if they've done everything that they need to do, they will get their 100 daily grade for the week. So let's talk about the front. The front, they have a practice strategy that they'll work on, either clapping, counting, doing some kind of strategy to help them learn their music. That, I actually provide that for them on the board, so that's an easy 9 points for them. And then the second part, they complete this at the end of the week. So the end of the week, they think about their practicing, they tell me how many days they've practiced. Is it more or less days, or maybe the same amount of days as last week? And then they talk about what they've learned, how they've learned it, what they're still improving on, what they want to achieve, and so forth and so on. So this part is more of a reflective piece of the practicing. And then at the bottom, if they have just any questions, they can ask me there. The back is the most important part. This is the actual practicing. So at the top, we have warm-up exercises. So they're gonna tell me what they warmed up on. Was it a scale? Was it maybe just like a really easy song that they like to play? Or maybe it's a specific drill or exercise that we do during class. That's fine, just put it up here. The next part is, what are you actually practicing? This should not be the same as this, okay? These two should be very different unless we're working on a scale, but right now, every class has at least 3 to 4 pieces to work on. So this should be some kind of piece that they're actually performing for class. And then here is the amount of minutes. So to be a successful orchestra member, you need to be able to at least practice 2.5 hours per week. Not per day, but per week. That's 150 minutes. So I don't care how they get that 150 minutes, they can do it all on one night. They can do it 100 minutes on one night, 50 minutes on another night. They can do sporadically 30 minutes throughout the week. I do not mind. They can have over 150 minutes. That is not the limit. So however they get to that 150 minutes, that is their responsibility. However, I'm starting to see with our students that they're going to need some help with developing a schedule. So if you can help them out and you say, hey, you're going to practice on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that will be a good thing that you can help them out with. I can help them develop a practice schedule because I don't know what's going on in their lives outside of school. So if that's something that you can help them out with, go ahead and do so. And then there's a grading scale down here. So it tells them exactly the score, what they would get if they practice either 150 minutes and over or under that 150 minutes. So down here, if they've practiced less than 50 minutes for the entire week, that is half of this sheet. That is only 35 points. So if they do this side correctly, they filled it out, and they have done no practicing, that is only a 65. That is only a 65, okay? But really, if they haven't practiced, they're not gonna have much to put down here, and they might get points off, so it's gonna be rare that they actually get a 65. And then from there it goes up. 50 minutes to 100 minutes, that's 50 points for this side. 100 minutes to 149 minutes, that is 60 points. And then anything over 150 minutes, they get their full 70 points. So front and back. And now I'm starting to require a parent signature. This is mainly the reason why I'm doing the vlog, because I need to have some kind of parent signature. They need to be playing and performing for you. Most of our students are renting instruments from me, which is fine, but they also need to be performing for you. You know, you are putting towards money, time, effort for them to be taking orchestra, but they also need to be performing for you. So you don't have to have a whole public concert about it, but they do need to maybe play their playing test assignment for the week for you. We usually have at least one playing assignment due on either Thursday or Fridays. So that would be a good time for them to practice. Maybe on Wednesday nights for the Thursday test or Thursday nights for the Friday test. This week, our playing test is on Fridays. On Friday for this week. Beginners have Pepperoni Pizza Rock, which comes from our string fling music. Third and fourth period, they have their playing assignment from Dragon Dances, which is one of our UIL pieces. And then my new bass student, you have an assignment that's in the Sound Innovations book. So everybody has something to play every single week. There will always be 2 assignments per week. This daily assignment and then a playing assignment. So they shouldn't ever say, oh, Mr. Lethridge doesn't have an assignment for us this week. It's probably not true, because there will always be at least 2 assignments due per week, maybe even more. So they will always have something for them to practice, something to improve on. There are no prodigies in this program, so there's always something more that they can do. And if they need help, please reach out and ask me for more additional music. I am glad to supplement by giving them more music, but closed mouths don't get fed, so please let me know. Instrument care, we are having quite a few instruments get sent off for repairs, so please just talk to your students about how they're taking care of their instruments, how they're laying them down, maybe at home, making sure that they're in a secure location that younger siblings aren't getting to, pets and animals aren't getting to. They're held in spaces that are good for the instrument, not in a garage. The garage is a hotbed for open seams to crack, or if they're in cold spaces, that wood can shrink and really damage the instrument. So they really need to be in well-tempered areas. I say if you can't leave a baby in it for a long time, you can't leave a string instrument in there for a long time. So recommended shops, if you would like to go out and buy an instrument, please come talk to me first. Most of these students are not at the full size for their instrument, so they cannot buy an instrument. They can rent one, but really let's try not to buy an instrument unless they're on a full-size violin. Full-size violins, yes, you can buy it because that's the only size that you're going to be able to play on for a violin. But if you're not a full-size violin, you do not want to buy, because then if you buy that instrument, you're going to have to go out to get that repaired. If anything happens, if they grow out of that smaller size, you're going to have to end up getting another instrument. Okay, so we really try to make sure you guys are renting so that you don't waste your money. Please come talk to me. Lyle Violin Shop is great. H&H is great if you're on a budget. Fishburne Violin Shop is a really credible shop that has actually started to sell out their inventories to many different shops around Houston, so they're really good. And then Music and Arts is also a reputable shop. Amati, Wu's Violins, that's here in Southwest Texas. Let's see, am I forgetting? Oh, Katie Violin. If you're out in the Katy area, Katy Violin will actually come out here. I don't know why, but they do. So make sure to please, if you have any questions about shops, I am the person to come to me first. And a lot of these shops will actually let you borrow the instrument and maybe just hold a credit card on file for a week just to try out a really fine instrument. If you're thinking about, hey, my child's in the 8th grade and they're going on the 9th grade, and I really want to get them something that's going to be worth their while in high school, you can actually try out an instrument for a couple days, put a credit card on file, try a very nice instrument and bow, or just a bow if you want to just buy them a bow. I know for bass players, my parents never bought me an instrument before college, but they bought me a bow and we got to try out many bows before I actually decided on one. So please come to me for all your questions about instrument purchases, rentals, and supplies. Last thing is our t-shirts. So t-shirts are finally here. This is our t-shirt. It's a very basic design, but I like that so that we can use this for years to come. I can make it a performance shirt for our beginners. That way, every year I just have to restock on more shirts, and I don't have to change the year, and it can stay applicable for years to come, maybe even directors past me. So please make sure to buy your t-shirts. It's the only advertising that we have for our orchestra program. And I think that's about it. You'll expect the next vlog here in the next 3 weeks. I'll try to do them the week of the progress report. So that means that progress report 5 is coming this Friday. So after Friday, you'll be able to see your students' current grade in orchestra and how they've been doing. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and give me an email. Every student here, I am able to give you exactly what they need and what they've been doing. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you in February.